guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So a while ago I made a poll on my channel asking you guys what type of soulmate video you would like to see next. We've already done a couple general who is your soulmate videos on this channel, so I thought it was time to spice things up a little bit. And the winner of that poll, as you can tell from the title, is the journey to your divine union. So in this pick a card, we are going to be seeing how, when, and where everything is going to come together between you and your soulmate. So right before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, which is Function of Beauty. If you guys don't know about Function of Beauty, they create hair products that are customizable, so you can get products that fit your specific hair needs and goals. I have been using Function of Beauty since September 2020, 7 months, and I really think this is it. I think this is my divine union. As someone with very thick, very coarse, curly and frizzy hair, finding products that make my hair manageable is not an easy feat. But because Function of Beauty's products are customized to my specific needs, these babies moisturize my hair, they strengthen my hair, and that in turn helps it to lengthen. Back in the day, I got a straight perm, which was a questionable choice because, you know, growing that out and then having curly hair on the top and straight hair on the bottom, it's a look for sure. So I've been trying to grow that out for the past year or so. I started using these products 7 months ago, and it's just been so nice to see my curls starting to come back. She's getting there, she's looking cute. Frizz is also a huge issue for me because, well, because of the way my hair is, but also it's extremely humid where I live, so it gets much worse, especially in the summertime. So my products are tailored to take care of that for me as well. So these are the products I have been using. I do have new ones coming very soon, but I will just show you guys for reference. So this is the Function of Kino, and this is how much I have left after 3 months of shampooing my very copious hair about once a week. They do come with these pumps, but I personally just open her up and pour it into my hand because I need a lot. And this is my serum, which is almost gone. This stuff is magic, by the way. This is the stuff that really gets me those compliments. Oh my gosh, your hair is so soft. For my new products, I did stick with the same hair goals, but I'm trying out a new fragrance and I'm also switching up the colors. And can I just say, my Gemini moon loves that you can mix things up like this. It's like you can get a different experience every time. Different formula, different color, different fragrance. You could print a different name on the bottle if you want, but it's still the same products with the same quality that you know and love. Function of Beauty's products are free of parabens, sulfates, GMOs, and toxins, and they are 100% vegan and cruelty-free. If you guys want to give Function of Beauty a try, you can get 20% off your first order by using my link down below. I am so grateful to have found these products, and I know you guys will love them as much as I do. So thank you so much to Function of Beauty again for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for listening to that, and now let's get on to the reading. Okay guys, so we have 5 readings for you to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of the crystals one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Fuchsite. Number 2 is Aragonite. Number 3 is Bismuth. Number 4 is Lepidolite. And number 5 is Pink Opal. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi, number 1s. So if you chose the Fuchsite, this is going to be a reading all about your journey to your divine union. So the first thing I want to look at is the energy between you and your person, what type of connection you have, and your role in each other's lives. And then we're going to look at 4 stages of this journey. So the 4 stages are before you meet each other, your moment of meeting, the time between meeting and getting into a relationship, and then finally your union together, so your life after union. So let's get right into it. These first two oracle cards are just going to give me an idea of the energy that exists between the two of you and what your connection is like. And the very first card that we have for you guys is love. Love to see that. And the sun. So we're starting off with really, really sweet energy. Plain and simple, your role in each other's lives is to love each other unconditionally, to support each other and accept each other just as you are. I feel like the two of you have had many, many incarnations together, and you may not be together every single time, but it seems that when you do incarnate together, you play a very important role in each other's lives. Like, you're always incarnated as two people who love each other very, very much, whether it be romantic or platonic. So you're not really like incarnating as random acquaintances or something like that. You get what I mean? And I'm also looking at the sunny imagery in both of these cards. Of course, we have literally the sun here, and then here we have this beautiful bright blue sunny sky. I feel like this is definitely speaking to the way you just light each other up. You have this way of making each other so cheerful, so giddy. It's like you instill in each other this love for life and this sense of wonder. This is gonna sound kind of cheesy, but I do feel like it's gonna be love at first sight for you guys. And it's like, the moment you meet each other, the world just seems brighter. Like, the sun seems to shine brighter and colors seem more vivid. Oh my gosh, I feel so cheesy even saying that, but this is really what it feels like. And I also want to tell you guys, I feel that this connection is very happy and cheerful, and for the most part I do think it will be stress-free and drama-free. So I don't really see this as like having a long, drawn-out, painful kind of phase. I don't really see this as a connection where there would be like, you know, a painful period of separation or anything like that. Please take that how it resonates, but I really don't think this is a case for most of you. I think that this connection is meant to be easy. For the most part, it's meant to be effortless. I can't say that it's completely effortless because no connection is perfect, but you are meant to feel happy most of the time when it comes to engaging and interacting with this person. This is somebody who really boosts your energy, who really lifts you up and supports you, both in a spiritual sense and in a practical sense as well. I feel like the two of you do whatever you can to make the other feel more confident, to feel more comfortable with themselves. You're actively supporting each other in achieving your goals. It's this kind of, you know, uplifting, motivating, and reassuring sort of connection that exists between the two of you, and it's very, very happy. Also, looking at the sun and flowers, the phrase that just came to my mind is like, you are the sun to each other's flower. And what I mean by that is that your energy is very, very nurturing to each other, and you create this environment for the other person, for each other, I should say, where you feel safe to fully bloom and to fully show your true colors. So you feel very safe around each other, and you feel like you can be yourself, and you feel like you can do anything, like you can reach your full potential. So this is a really caring, supportive, and nurturing connection. With the sun, I feel like this connection will be full of laughter. You'll have a great sense of humor together. Very, very affectionate and passionate as well. And you're so freaking proud of each other. I'm thinking like the sun as a spotlight. You will want to like shine the spotlight on each other as much as possible, and you'll be really, really proud to call each other your partners. Like, you'll be bragging about each other. Like, you know that Will Smith meme where he's like, let me get my hands right, I'm disoriented. You know the Will Smith meme where he's like displaying, like, you are showing off each other to the world. Like, look at my freaking amazing partner. This is what it's going to feel like. Also, the sun can be indicative of the two of you giving birth to something together or creating something together, whether that is literally the birth of a child, as we can see here, whether you guys are, you know, creating something together like a book or music or a business. I just got the word charity, like maybe you're starting a charity together or something like that. A business, an organization, a work of art. You're meant to like join together and create or produce something that has like a little bit of both of you in it. And you guys might have really brilliant ideas together as well. Like when you talk and brainstorm and bouncing ideas off each other, you really nurture each other's ideas. I feel like you're going to be putting out some amazing stuff into the world. So, wow, this is wonderful energy that we're starting off with. And now let's look at some tea leaf oracle cards just to see if we can get any more information about your connection or your union. So we have target here, a goal-oriented person. I feel like this is definitely both of you, but yes, your soulmate or your twin flame will be a goal-oriented person. And also, this image of the bullseye, I think this is telling you that you are right on target. So whatever goals you're working towards right now, or whatever you are trying to do or trying to be in the world, I feel like it's very much in alignment with your soul's purpose. I think you're very much on the right path to this union and just in your life in general. And this can also be a message for you guys that you are on target with who this person is. Like if you have a feeling that you know who this person is, I think it would be pretty obvious because they just make you so happy and bubbly like no other. But you guys could be on target with who this person is too. Love, so yeah, love is coming out twice. And also the imagery of flowers is very, well, actually it's on 3 out of the 4 cards so far. So, okay, if you guys haven't met this person yet, their higher self could communicate to you through flowers. So if you ever, you know, are just walking by somewhere and you notice beautiful flowers, or even if you see an image of flowers that is very beautiful or very moving to you in some way, this could be your soulmate's higher self coming through just to say hello, or, you know, I love you, I'll be there soon. They could communicate to you through flowers like this. And even when you guys are together, this person might like to bring you flowers, or they might even garden. That's very that's very specific, definitely not for everybody, but there's something about flowers and this person. Okay, and March. So for your month, we have March and freaking flowers again. March could be like the birth month of this person. It could be the month that you are going to meet, or the month that you did meet if you already met this person. It could also be the month of your union. It could be many, many different things, but if this is a month that resonates with you, please take this as a confirmation. Okay, so this is the energy of your connection. So now let's look at our 4 stages. And what it's going to be like is you on this side, your soulmate or twin flame on this side, and you're getting closer and closer to each other. And then in the middle, we have your final form, your final romantic union. So on your end, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and on their end, we have the 5 of Wands. So you are coming through, you are coming through with the energy of the 7 of Pentacles. I do think, like we saw here, you, well, both of you, but we're talking about you right now. You are a goal-oriented person. And before meeting your soulmate, so leading up to the meeting with your soulmate, I do think that you will be actively working towards your goals, whether it's a career goal, a study goal, a creative goal. But you may be kind of feeling like you're in a rut, or you might kind of feel like things are stuck. This is the energy that you're going to be in, like right before you meet your soulmate. And you could be kind of confused. Like, I'm looking at this person, you know, he seems pensive, he seems reflective, and he's like, why isn't this growing at the speed that I want it to? And I do want to say, like, looking at the trees in this image, there are fruit. There is fruit. There is fruit growing on the trees, but maybe it's not as big as you would like it to be. So it's definitely not like you're making zero progress. I just think that maybe you're in a stage where the fruits of your labor are not as big as you would like them to be. You know, that fruit is not as sweet and juicy as you had hoped. You're just kind of feeling like things are dragging along slowly. That's kind of the energy I see you in, and you're kind of wondering what you should do, and you're confused because you're like, I feel like I'm putting in a good effort. I feel like I'm doing everything right. So why aren't the results, you know, up to my expectations? Or why aren't my results the same as other people around me? So you're in a bit of this like perplexed or even disappointed kind of energy. I will say this is a card that encourages us to be patient. And honestly, like, I do feel like you guys are doing everything right because we have this bullseye here. And I think the missing ingredient for you guys will really just be time. So it's just a matter of patience. It's just a matter of time. If you think of this as you guys growing a garden, like you've given it sunlight, water, maybe fertilizer or some good soil, that's everything that a plant needs to grow, but it also needs time. So you can be doing everything right and giving your plant everything it needs, but it still needs time to grow. So if you're in this stage right now, don't worry. With time, things will start to progress. The fruits of your labor will start to get bigger and bigger. Now over here for your soulmate, the energy that we have is the 5 of Wands, which is a bit of a tough energy. And I feel that before your soulmate meets you, or before they met you, if this already happened, they're actually going to be feeling pretty out of alignment in their life. You know, looking at their life, they don't feel that it's really in alignment with what they want for themselves or who they truly are. They can't really see any recognizable piece of themselves in the life that they're living. So this could be like your soulmate is in a job that they're not really passionate about, or some, if not most, of the people they're hanging around are not really like representations of who they want to be, like people who are not on their level, or it's like they're kind of living as a persona. They're not really living as their true self or as their highest self, and it feels like they're just kind of getting by. They're just kind of surviving rather than really living and thriving. And I feel like the cause of this, when I sit with their energy, it's like at some point they just started living like to please other people, or just putting themselves in the box that other people saw them in. So maybe they got like a job that, you know, all their friends were doing, or their parents wanted them to do, or, you know, they just thought that this was like a normal job in society. They're just meeting other people's expectations. And I feel like at some point it just became something that they unconsciously did, until they reach a point where they look around and they're like, wait a minute, I don't like this life that I'm living. This is not me. So I feel like they're kind of having this realization before meeting you that things really need to change. They feel conflicted. They don't feel at peace in their life, and they don't feel authentic in their life. So yes, this is your energy before meeting. So what we're going to look at now is the moment of the two of you meeting each other. So on your end, we have the 3 of Cups. And on their end, we have the 2 of Cups. So this is your moment of meeting each other. When it comes to the 3 of Cups, with regards to relationships and especially the meeting, I do often, naturally think of a third party involved. You guys might know in the traditional artwork, there's like 3 people dancing and partying together. So I do often think this means that you will be introduced to this person through a third party, as opposed to just like bumping into them, or I don't know, meeting them on an app or something. I feel like this is an introduction from a friend, from an acquaintance, from a coworker, whatever it is. And this can also tell us a little bit about the environment, because the 3 of Cups has a very like fun, lighthearted kind of energy. So when it comes to a meeting with somebody, it generally doesn't feel like you're in a very serious environment, like a professional environment or something like that. It feels more laid back and relaxed. So it could be a party or some kind of celebration, some kind of recreational, like some kind of event where you're there to have fun and celebrate and mingle, and you can kind of let loose a little bit. There may actually be alcohol involved. So it could be some kind of party like this, or just like a get together with friends even, but I hope you know what I mean. It's like a laid back environment. So the advice that I want to give you guys, if you are finding yourself in the Seven of Pentacles energy, is you don't have to get through this alone. I feel like these two cards could actually be related to each other in that the solution to your rut or to your disappointing results is you're not meant to do this alone. So some of you are going to be finding a business partner or a study buddy or a creative collaborator or even a community that is going to kind of get you out of this rut. So like if you guys were working on starting a business or, you know, starting a platform to share your gifts, you might be meant to do that with somebody else. So you guys are going to meet like your perfect business partner. If you're an artist, you may be finding someone to collaborate with so they can kind of come in and work on the things that maybe are not your forte. Like if you're a musician, somebody might come in to work on like the visuals or the more technical side of it. You're finding like collaborators or people to work with that is going to make this fun again, and that is really going to lift your spirits. Or you could be finding, like I said, a community of people who have the same aspirations for you, and they start to give you advice on how to get out of the rut. Don't do it alone is basically the message from Spirit here. When you find your community, not only are they going to help you, but it's going to make things fun again. The people that you're surrounded with are going to remind you, like, it's not all about the results. This is about your passion. This is about your enjoyment. And I don't think that your partner or the community is going to be like directly your soulmate, but I think that partner or somebody in that community is going to introduce you to your soulmate. So this is going to be like a mutual friend situation, a mutual acquaintance situation. Like maybe your business partner is best friends with your soulmate or like has worked with your soulmate before, and then they invite you to an event and your soulmate is there. It's this kind of indirect, like there's a middleman. But the middleman is somebody who's very, very favorable influence in your life. They're going to help you out of this rut. They're going to help you with their goals. They're going to help sort of bring back that element of enjoyment. Because when we go at it alone, I feel like we can really get in our heads and lose sight of the enjoyment aspect and just focusing on like output and results. And they're going to kind of bring you back to that lighthearted place of like doing it for fun, doing it for the love of it, and then the results come naturally. Yes, so wow, there's like two very significant people coming up here. There's like a platonic or professional soulmate who is going to lead you to your romantic soulmate. Now over here, with your soulmate's energy, I feel like, you know, they've just come to this realization that they're out of alignment in their life. And this is like, we're going directly into meeting you because we have the Two of Cups here. So this middleman is gonna either invite like both you and your soulmate, or like bring you into the plans that they had with the soulmate. Like you're being brought together in this sort of laid back environment. And your soulmate is definitely experiencing love at first sight. Because the Two of Cups is here. This is about love, romantic feelings, a relationship or the desire for a relationship. So it's like as soon as they meet you, they're like, oh my gosh, this person is an angel. And I think what will really stand out to them, how serendipitous it is for them that just when they felt like, I want to start living a more authentic life. I want to, you know, live a life that I really resonate with. I want to start expressing my true self more. That they meet you like right when they are just thinking this, and you're somebody who is so, it's like you are who they wish they could be. The way you are is very similar to their authentic self that is hiding within and trying to come out. So remember, before it was like they look around at their life and they don't really see any recognizable bit of themselves. But in you, they see themselves so much. They're like, this is the person I want to be. Like your personality, maybe even like the goals you're working towards, what you're trying to do for your career or your creative projects. There's something about you and the things that you do and just your essence that they feel so identified with. They see themselves in you so much and they aspire to you so much. You are very, very inspiring to this person, and they really feel like the meeting with you was a sign. Like, okay, yeah, I need to start making changes in my life because I want to be like this person. I want to be on this person's level. So immediately they feel very, very drawn to you. And just the way, the time and place that you came into their life, it's like a huge confirmation to them that they need to start working towards their highest and authentic self. So immediate recognition for them, love at first sight. They know that they know that this is not the last time they're going to see you. They have to see you again, and they will. And yeah, romantic feelings are developing pretty early on. So this is the moment you're meeting. Now let's see the time between your meeting and your romantic union. So on your end, there's 6 of Swords. And on their end, there's Knight of Cups. That's so sweet. So yeah, after your first meeting, you guys, I feel like you'll exchange numbers, you'll exchange social media or whatever, and you're gonna be talking nonstop. You're gonna be exchanging messages all the time. I feel like you will be texting each other a lot. You may not be meeting that much in person. It could just be like because you're busy, or it's not that you don't want to, but maybe your like schedule just doesn't match up that much. But in any case, it's like you're very, very active on each other's social media, so you might comment on each other's stuff a lot, you might tag each other in a lot of stuff, and you're texting each other a lot. Oh, you guys might live kind of far away from each other, so that might be why it's hard to meet up. I'm just thinking like the 6 of Swords has that image of somebody on a boat, so they're like traveling a kind of long distance. It doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are like a long distance relationship per se, although you could be, but maybe it's like you live on opposite ends of town, or you work on opposite ends of town or something. So it's not like you can just like casually meet up for a quick coffee or a quick lunch or something. You kind of have to plan in advance and like decide who's gonna come to who, you know? So it could be something like that too. But anyway, your communication is going to be very frequent regardless. This person is going to be very sweet and affectionate with you pretty much from the start, because on their end it's the 2 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So this is the type of person who will okay, this will have to do with what you guys like, because I'm realizing that if I just say for everybody, like this person texts you every day, this person texts you good morning, good night every day, some of you guys might not like that, you know, like the level of communication that people like is very different, you know, what we think as like maybe too clingy or too much, or what we think of as not enough or too distant. It's so subjective, right? It varies greatly from person to person. So I think the way I'm going to interpret this is that it's like they're just right. Just enough to make you feel really cared for and really special, but they're definitely not like coming on too strong or in a way that makes you think like they're clingy or anything like that. So if you are the type who likes, you know, good morning, good afternoon, good night texts every single day, and you like that kind of check-in, like what are you up to? What are you doing? They will definitely do that. If you're just good with like a hey, what's up every day or every couple days, then that's what they're delivering. You know, it's a general reading and everyone's situation is different, but I think the point of the Knight of Cups is that the communication is so frequent that you truly feel cared for, and you feel like this person is really making you a priority. I'm looking at the little bird on this card. There could be something about this person's voice that you really like, that just really calms you. Their speaking voice, it could even be their singing voice. Something with their voice and the way they communicate, like the words they use, it really makes you feel soothed and cared for. And when it comes to the romantic confession, I do think it's going to be this person who comes forward, because they're like the Knight of Cups that is walking towards you. And I think you make it very easy and comfortable for this person to come forward. So, you know, this person is not necessarily like super outgoing and romantic in general. You know, this might actually be a kind of shy person, or kind of like keeps to themselves kind of person. But you make them feel so comfortable that it's easy for them to come forward and be this Knight of Cups. So again, I see like a really easy and smooth progression from your meeting to your romantic union. So it's kind of a confirmation here that this is a smooth, easy, happy connection. This is what I see for you and this soulmate that we're looking at here. So you meet, you connect instantly, you talk a lot. You meet kind of infrequently, but you try. You do what you can and plan to meet each other. This person really makes you feel like you're a priority, and it just flows naturally until eventually they confess their romantic feelings to you, and you accept them and you become a couple. So it's really, really sweet. And now let's look at the final stage between the two of you. This is after your union. So what is your union like? What is your relationship like? So we have light beings and the world. Nice. One thing I want to say about the world, if you guys are watching in 2021, this could be that your union is happening in 2021. But I know this is a timeless reading. You may find this like the following year. But we can take this card to mean that whenever you're watching, it's like you will have your union within that year. Wow. So the world, it can mean a lot of things. One thing that I often see with the world is like a power couple, or you guys are like couple goals. So you guys will be official. I feel like everybody will know about your relationship. I don't know why I feel the need to clarify that. I guess some people have like secret or like low-key relationships, but I feel like your relationship will be made public, so you might like post about it. Like everybody knows that you guys are a couple, and people love you guys as a couple. Like you guys go so well together. They see this affection that you have for each other. They see the way you light each other up, and it just looks like the two of you are having so much fun together, and people aspire to be like that. People will wish that they had a relationship like yours. So that's the kind of couple goals thing that I see with this card. Also power couple. So I definitely think that you guys are creating something together. You know, you may have your own projects going on, your own things going, but I do think that you will also come together and work on something together that is going to be very, very well received by the world. And this is also a card that could represent fame or like admiration and popularity. So of course, not everybody watching this reading is going to be like a famous couple with their soulmate. I think that that will be a very small number of you, but it could be that you are very well known and very well liked in your community. You both have very good reputations. You're both very well known for the work that you do. So in this sense, you're kind of, some of you will very much be in the public eye, but it's like you're being watched, you're being admired. So that's really exciting. This could also be indicating that you guys will travel a lot as a couple. So you will really get to see the world and live a pretty comfortable and abundant lifestyle, I have to say, because the world is about success and achieving your goals, and it's really expansive. So I feel like you guys are gonna have many amazing experiences together. I just heard you might have a really like amazing honeymoon that you will never forget. You guys could also be like from different countries or different ethnicities or something like this with the world too. There's a lot of information in this card, I'm noticing, but it's a very, very happy card. And then here we have light beings. So looking at this massive, this massive being looking at the earth. I feel like maybe you guys have even incarnated together on places other than Earth. Maybe not necessarily even in physical bodies, but you guys are very old and very big souls. You guys could be light workers as well. So you're coming to this earth with the goal of raising the vibration, so to speak, you know, lifting up the world, inspiring many people. So it makes sense why you guys would have a platform, you know, if you are meant to light the world up in this way. But you guys will have like a soul mission together of lifting up the world. And so even more confirmation that you will collaborate on something together. Okay, I think that's all the messages I have for you guys. So this was your journey to your divine union. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And I do have a Patreon if you guys want even more exclusive pick a cards every month, so that will be linked down below as well. You see, I added the Patreon thing into my outro and it messed me up, and I forgot where I am in the outro now. But anyway, thank you guys very much. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number twos. So if you chose the Aragonite, this is going to be a reading all about the journey to your divine union. So the first thing I want to look at is the energy of the two of you. So what type of connection you guys have and what roles you play in each other's lives. And then we're going to look at your journey in 4 stages. And the 4 stages are before you meet each other, the moment you meet each other, the time in between meeting and getting into your romantic union, and then the time after your romantic union. So let's get right into it. The first 2 oracle cards that we have here are going to give me an idea of the energy that exists within your connection. And the first card that we have is Diligence and the Angel of Strength. Okay, so I do want to mention there are a few angel cards in this oracle deck. I don't think there are that many, but I definitely do take notice whenever one of these cards comes out in somebody's reading, because it tells me that you do have an angel watching over you. So you and your counterpart, your soulmate or your twin flame, and sort of watching over the situation. And even with the imagery on this card here, it's like you're being guided by a loving being who has sort of a higher perspective on things, who has, you know, a bird's eye view on the situation. So I just want to confirm to you guys that you definitely have a lot of divine support in this connection, and you are being helped by an angel or by many angels in this union. And I also want to say that whether you have met your soulmate yet or not, your higher selves are guiding each other. So even if you're not currently, you know, with this person or you haven't met them yet, their higher self is with you. So please take that as a confirmation as well. If you guys have, you know, kind of felt their energy lingering around you, or you feel like you're receiving signs or messages from them, yes, their higher self is with you right now. So looking at the meaning of these cards, I can definitely say that this connection is going to teach you strength and perseverance. That's the word. Strength and perseverance. So this could be a journey that is a little bit long, or, you know, it feels quite long to you, and there could be times where you really struggle to keep the faith, or you really struggle to stay patient. So I think that the journey is making you strong in that way. And also I'm being drawn to the clouds on this card. Like this bird is flying, obviously this bird is making a journey, but it's like there's some pieces of the puzzle that are obscured. Like there's some parts of the journey that are kind of hidden. It feels like you may have to move forward along this journey sometimes without having all the information or without knowing what's going to happen. And you have to be okay with that uncertainty. Like you have to keep moving forward and just have faith that things are going to work out, even when there are clouds there, even when you can't see the full picture. So this is definitely not the easiest journey, and I want to tell you guys who are on this journey, you know, towards your divine counterpart and towards your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. I want to say that I am so proud of you for coming this far. You're 100% on the right path. Please never feel like, you know, it's difficult because you did something wrong. This is just part of the journey. This journey is making you patient. This journey is making you strong. I'm also hearing some of you guys will have to take kind of a big risk in order to get to this divine union. Like take a big risk and go like with full force towards your dreams. I think it's the lion that is making me think that, because the lion represents courage and really having confidence in yourself. So I don't know, just for an example, maybe some of you guys feel really called to move like to a specific country across the world, or to aim really, really high for your career, you know, aiming for a career that not many people are successful in. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to be successful, and you kind of have to take that risk and go for it and invest in it, with faith that you will be rewarded, with faith that things will work out. So there could be a little element of, you know, it's like scary. You're taking a risk. You're putting a lot on the line to make your dreams come true, and you just have to go for it. So this risk taking, or this, you know, listening to your heart and seizing your dreams, it could be what leads to the union with your soulmate or your twin flame as well. So I think this is definitely, well, it's only pile 2, but I feel like this is going to be one of the more difficult journeys, but at the same time, it's going to be one of the most rewarding. Okay, so let's get into your tea leaf oracle cards. So we have horse, short journey. I'm actually really, really happy to see this, because I was picking up that this might be a long journey for a lot of you guys. And if this horse is coming through with the message of short journey, what this is making me think is that a lot of you guys are kind of on the final leg of this journey. Like you're at the end. And so, you know, the longest part is over, or the hardest part is over, and you only have a little bit more left to go until your union. Kind of off topic, but I'm noticing that both the horse and the lion, obviously they have very majestic manes. So there could be something about your soulmate or your twin flame having very nice hair, or they think that you have very nice hair. And keep in mind, that could be like facial hair as well. I'm just pointing that out because I got a comment on a video recently where I had said something about the person having really nice hair, and the person who commented was like, well, I'm bald. So it can be like any hair, but I just wanted to point that out in case it's relevant for some of you. We also have the month of February. So this could be the birth month of your soulmate or twin flame. It could be the month that you guys are going to meet, or the month that you guys did meet if you already met this person, or it could be the month that you guys come into union. I do have to say though, because I'm filming this in April and we have short journey. So if you guys are watching this like in April, for example, February might not really feel like a short journey for you. So I think this will really depend on when you happen to find this video. You know, for February being referring to your union, I think that would only be for those of you who happen to be watching this video when, you know, February is quite soon. So otherwise, this could be like somebody's birth month, or just a month where a significant development has happened. So if the month February is relevant for you and another person, you can take this as confirmation. And then we have success. Beautiful. So the two of you are meant to be very successful together, obviously. And I feel called to say like whatever success means to you. So if for you being successful is like being super rich and famous and jet setting and living this super exciting, eventful life, then this is the success that is coming to you. But maybe success for you means living a peaceful life, finding your peace of mind and living quietly, being surrounded by like a close-knit group of people that you really love and trust. You know, success is so subjective. So please take like whatever success means to you. This is what you are meant to have with your soulmate or your twin flame. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the specific stages of the journey. So like I mentioned before, the first stage that we're going to look at is the time before you guys have met each other. So on this end, we're going to have you. On this end, we're going to have your soulmate. And throughout the stages, you move closer and closer together. And then we will have the cards representing your union in the middle. So for before you guys have met, the card for you is the King of Pentacles. Very nice. And the card for your soulmate is Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I am seeing that you guys will actually reach a pretty significant level of success in your career before meeting your soulmate. You're gonna feel really, really good about yourself, like in the months leading up to meeting them. I think that you'll just experience like a pretty big upgrade in your finances. Maybe you just achieved a really, really significant career goal, or you got a really amazing job offer, a really amazing promotion. Some of you guys with the King of Pentacles, it could be like you've reached a level of prominence in your career or in your projects that somebody that you really looked up to for a long time like started to notice you and compliment your work. So that could be a really big achievement for you guys. But in terms of your finances, your job, your projects, you're gonna be basically feeling like on top of the world. So if you guys have a really big achievement in your career, it probably means that your soulmate is coming soon. I also want to mention, more of the emotional and spiritual aspect of this card. Oh, and I just looked up at the camera and it said 1111. So if you guys have been seeing 1111 with regards to your soulmate connection, it's here for you right now. That was a sign for you guys. I wanted to talk about the more emotional and spiritual aspect of the King of Pentacles as well, because this is about feeling very secure and very sure of yourself. And especially with this Lion coming up in the Strength card, I feel like you guys will be in a place where you feel really confident about your abilities and you really feel like you deserve your success. You feel deserving and worthy of your success. I'm thinking of the King of Pentacles in another deck that I have, the Crystal Power Tarot, and it says on it, I am sure of my place in the world. And I really like this affirmation for you. It's like you have proven to yourself at this point that you can do it. And it's like you've earned your spot up with the top dogs, I think is the expression. You've really made it. That's what I'm seeing with this King of Pentacles. And you've really earned your success and you feel so proud of yourself. And this is a stage of your life where a lot of people are going to be looking up to you, asking you how you did it, and you're so inspiring. And also people who you once looked up to, now they're like complimenting you and looking up to you. So anyway, you're just feeling so proud of yourself. I'm going to try not to ramble for too long, but I just really like this energy. And yeah, you guys are going to be able to treat yourself to some really nice things, like material things, if that's what you want. So over here, on your soulmate side is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is kind of interesting. I feel like because, you're working your way up, you're preparing for your divine union, now the universe kind of has to redirect your soulmate and kind of get them in your lane, get them in your area. So the Wheel of Fortune represents a sort of, unexpected turn of events. It is for the better, but it's not really something that we can often control or predict. It kind of feels like a divine intervention to me, like the wheel is spinning and wherever it lands, like that's where you're gonna go. So I feel like there's going to be it's kind of like a positive tower moment is how I'm feeling it. Your soulmate is going to go through a positive tower moment before meeting you, where they're just like completely redirected. So they might be transferred somewhere, they might go through a sudden change of heart and decide that they want to change their job. It's like this completely unexpected surprise change, and I think that it's going to be kind of different for everybody, but it is the universe redirecting your soulmate so that they can find you. And the ones that are coming to my mind the most is like an unexpected relocation, or an unexpected career change, or like an unexpected change of heart on their part. Okay, so now let's look at the cards representing the moment that the two of you meet. So on your end, there's the Two of Coins, lots of like money and career related energy for you. And on your soulmate's end is the Seven of Wands. So because your meeting is being represented by the Two of Coins, I do kind of feel that there's going to be some sort of collaboration between the two of you. So like a work collaboration, a creative collaboration, you're putting your skills together, you're putting your knowledge together. I feel like your specialties are a little bit different, and I will get to that in a second. Although you are like in the same general field. So there's an opportunity for the two of you to join forces. And I feel that especially in the card on, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? The Two of Coins card in this deck, because of the scale, it reminds me of Libra or 7th house energy. It reminds me of partnerships, like two people coming together in this harmonious partnership, and they're each putting in equal effort to make something happen. I want to tell you guys, like, you are both remarkable individuals. Like, you're very talented, you're very intelligent, you're very hardworking. I also want to point out in this deck that the coins are in alignment, whereas in, you know, the Rider-Waite traditional deck, for example, and some other decks, we see the coins as like they're kind of unstable and being juggled. I think this is speaking to how stable and solid of a unit the two of you make, how well you work together. Like I said, you put in equal effort and you are equals. So you're both just as talented, you're both just as hardworking, and so it's just like chef's kiss when you come together. Really, really harmonious, like professional or creative partnership between the two of you. Now over here, there's the Seven of Wands for your soulmate. And so this is an interesting card, and there's two different meanings that I feel I could attribute to it in this case. So please take it how it resonates. One of the messages from the Seven of Wands is like being a little bit burnt out or having too much on your plate. And that comes from the image on the traditional deck, which is like this guy with one wand, and he's trying to fight back 6 wands all by himself. So it gives me that feeling of like you have too much on your hands, or like you can't do this all by yourself. It's not reasonable for you to do this all by yourself. So I feel like your soulmate will be at this place in their career maybe, or like whatever it is you guys are collaborating on in their projects. Maybe they feel like there's so much that they want to do. Like they have so many aspirations but so little time, or they just don't have enough time in the day or enough energy to realize all of the dreams that they want to do. And so they're starting to realize like, maybe I can't do this alone. Maybe I should, you know, work with a partner. I should find someone to collaborate with me. Okay, you know what? Now, when I said there's a couple ways to interpret it, I'm realizing that the other way I was thinking of was very, very similar. I guess like one of them has an element of being burnt out, like this is too much for me. And the other one is just like, I've done everything I can on my own, and now I want to move to new horizons. I guess one of them just has a bit of feeling of stress, and the other one is like hope for the future. And anyway, they're kind of the same thing. Never mind. Basically, your soulmate has done everything they can on their own, and now they need their partner, you, to come in. Because there's a Wheel of Fortune here, I think the way you meet is going to be really random, meaning that it's not going to be like in a work environment. It's not like you guys went to a conference and, you know, you're there for the purpose of networking, for the purpose of finding business partners. I think it's more like you meet by chance and you just get to talking and realize that you have a lot of the same goals and realize that you're working in the same field. So you guys could meet at a completely like unrelated event. You guys could even just be out like running errands, going about your day, and you just happen to bump into this person. Like they ask you, you know, like when you just approach someone to like, you know, ask them for directions or ask them what time it is, or you know, you look like you need help, can I help you with this? Like totally by chance, just striking up a conversation like that. It could be something like that too, because I often see with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like there's no like person or organization that is like specifically bringing the two of you together. You're just kind of both like out doing your own thing, and you bump into each other. I feel like, okay, some of you will know who this person is before you meet them. Like they could be somebody that like you've heard about their work before, or even you look up to them, and then like you bump into them and you like freak out. Like you weren't expecting to, like imagine if you bumped into like Ariana Grande at Dunkin' Donuts, you know? It's like, it's weird. It's like, I don't know why that's the example I thought of, but it's like, what are you doing here? Like, why would I bump into you here, you know? Anyway, I hope you guys can get like an idea of this Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of like a very wild card way of meeting, but it's perfect. It all works out. So you guys have met, you're in this professional like work collaboration situation together. And so now let's see what it's going to be like between you guys meeting and getting into your romantic relationship. Oh, can you hear the siren? Okay, sorry about that. So for you, we have the Three of Swords representing the time between your meeting and your romantic union. And for your soulmate, we have Temperance. These actually, I think they make sense together. The Three of Swords is not the happiest card, as you guys might know. It's like sadness, disappointment, worry. I feel that what might happen, considering you guys are sort of in a more like professional kind of relationship, is that you will start developing feelings for this person. But on their end, they're sort of, you know, coming across in a way where like to them, it's strictly business. Like they're not really showing any signs of wanting something more with you. And so, you know, at first, I think you're going to be really, really excited about this partnership. And as time goes on, yes, you're still very happy to be working with this person. Like you're still very happy about the partnership that you have. But I think it's also going to be kind of bittersweet. Like there's a little bit of sadness mixed in with that, because you don't want to be just business partners, or you don't want to just like be collaborators. You want to be more with this person. You want to have a more like intimate personal relationship. You want to get to know their heart. You want to, you know, get to know who they truly are on a deeper level. And of course, express your feelings for them. But I feel like they're not really going to be giving you that vibe that that's what they want. It might be like, you know, every time they contact you, it's about what you're working on, and you wish that, you know, sometimes they would just ask how you are or invite you to hang out, and, you know, not to work on anything, but just to spend time together. And so, you know, as your feelings grow for them more and more, I can see that becoming like a little bit more disheartening. It's like you have this huge, well, it's more than a crush, like you're really falling in love with this person, and you feel like you can't tell them because you feel like that's not really what they want. So there might be a little bit of sadness from the time that you meet until the time that you're romantically together. Now on their end, and I say it makes sense because they have Temperance on their end, which is about like self-control, self-restraint, you know, holding back. So I feel like this person definitely feels very, very strongly for you as well, but they are holding back on it. And specifically, I feel like this person's gonna have a lot of fantasies about you. Like they're gonna feel very physically attracted to you and think about you a lot in that way. I just noticed a lot of these people have like reddish brown hair. I'm sorry, it's very off topic, but that even the lion and the horse too, there's like this orangey, reddish, brownish hair situation. So that might be the color of your soulmate or twin flame's hair, whether it's natural or dyed, it doesn't matter, but I just thought I would point that out. Anyway, they are incredibly attracted to you. There's a lot of angel imagery too, but they're holding back. And you know, this could be for many reasons. It could be because they don't want to make things awkward between the two of you, because you do have this kind of professional relationship. It could be that, you know, there's other people around, other people watching. There could be some like taboo aspect of it as well. For some of you guys, this person might be like with somebody else when they meet you, and so that's why they have to hold back. And then for others, it could be because of their job, because of their image. You know, they have to like be careful about their personal life getting uncovered or something like that. But there's a reason that this person is holding back, and it's not because they're not interested in you, because they really, really are. But they just feel like they can't come forward. They feel like they have to do the right thing, quote unquote, and not act on their urges, like not act on their feelings. And they feel very, very passionate towards you. So I think that that's going to be hard for them. But yeah, that's why there's this miscommunication, because you think that they don't feel anything for you, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. And if they're acting distant towards you, or they're acting strictly business towards you, that is deliberate. So just know that it's not that they don't want to, you know, invite you to hang out or be more than what you currently are, but they just have this temperance energy over here. So yeah, it could be a little bit of a bummer, but obviously you guys are coming into union, because that's what this reading is all about. So I know that this energy is going to change. So with that said, let's look at your final cards, which are representing your union and your relationship after that. So there's Focus and the Hanged Man. So, wow. Okay, they're going through a little bit of like a spiritual journey, I think. Your soulmate is going through a little bit of a spiritual awakening. And I think that is really heightening after they meet you. I know, you know, for sure this is a very spiritual and divinely guided journey. But this focus combined with the Hanged Man, this is like gaining a new perspective on things. And with that focus word, it's like they're coming to see what really matters. I think there's a lot of things. Okay, your soulmate's like a very disciplined person, and I think this, you know, self-restraint that they're showing in the connection with you, it's definitely not like an isolated instance. I feel like this person holds back on their desires a lot. They might be the person who, you know, they don't want to ruffle feathers, or they want to, like I said before, quote unquote, do the right thing. They might be a little bit of a people pleaser, or they might be just very hard on themselves. Like they feel like they always have to take responsibility to do what's right, and their own like wants and needs and desires just kind of take a back seat. I feel like this is someone who really, really holds back on their emotions, but they're starting to gain a new perspective on this after meeting you, and they're realizing that, you know, this is not really doing the right thing. This is just me, you know, like restraining myself for no reason, or holding back for no reason. I'm just postponing my joy. I'm just delaying my blessings by acting like this. Like they're starting to feel like there's nothing honorable about ignoring their passion or ignoring what they really want, although for some reason in the past they were made to feel that way. So this person could have grown up around people like who were very hard on them, who never valued what they really wanted to do, and they just had to, you know, please, like their parents, for example, just fulfill the responsibilities that were assigned to them. Like maybe they were never really made to feel like what they wanted truly mattered, and so they just kind of carried that on into their adult life, put their own stuff in the on the back burner, in the back seat. And they realize, like, what is the point of this? I don't have to be living like this. And so they're starting to see things in this new way. All I'm doing is delaying my joy. That's like the phrase that keeps coming to my mind. There's no need to hold back like this. All I'm doing is delaying my joy. So I do think eventually this person will come forward to you. They will, you know, tell you about how they felt this whole time. And I really like that, because it's like, it will retroactively heal your sadness, or it will retroactively cheer you up from everything that you went through. Because I think you spent a long time in this person's life, or you will have spent a long time in this person's life feeling sad that they didn't return the feelings. And so when you realize that that whole time they did have feelings for you, it kind of like nullifies the sadness that you went through. That's what it feels like. I think that the connection between the two of you is going to be very spiritual, like I said. I think that this person is going to be like openly spiritual, whether they were to begin with or you introduce them to spirituality. I think that's going to be like a very open part of your relationship. So, you know, you guys might meditate together, like I see on this card, or, you know, share about your journey, share about your spiritual insights with each other. I definitely think at some point the two of you are going to have a conversation about, like, you know, I think we're soulmates, I think we've had past lives together, and you may even like uncover some of that information together. You know, but you can really share and be open about your spirituality with this person. I think that's going to be like a significant bonding point in your relationship. And you know, with the Hanged Man as well, and the fact that you've had this kind of long and difficult journey before, once you guys are together, you're able to look back on your own respective past experiences, even the ones that were tough, even the ones that you didn't understand at the time, and sort of piece everything together. Like, oh, I needed to have that experience because I needed to learn this. And, you know, if that hadn't happened, even though I didn't like it at the time, I wouldn't be here with you right now. So it's like you can look back together and retroactively heal and make peace with everything that happened, because you're so happy and at peace with where you are right here, right now. You can come to be grateful together for everything that you went through. And this message about having like a very amazing physical relationship just keeps, it keeps popping up for me. So I feel like Spirit definitely wants you to know that and wants you to look forward to that. But wow, beautiful. Okay, I think that's all the messages I have for you guys. So I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And I do have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a cards that you can actually choose the topic for, there will be a link for that down below as well. So I'm sending you lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number threes. So if you chose the Bismuth, this is going to be a reading all about the journey to your divine union. So the first thing I want to do in this reading is just take a look at the energy between you and your person, see what type of connection you have and the role that you play in each other's lives. And then we're going to look at your journey to union in 4 stages. And those 4 stages are the time before your meeting, the moment that you meet, the time between your meeting and the beginning of your romantic relationship, and then finally your romantic union. So let's get right into it, starting with these two oracle cards, and these are just going to give me an idea of the energy between the two of you. So the first card that we have is Opportunity and Yin Yang. Okay, so this Yin Yang card to me just screams twin flame, divine counterpart. Of course, with these perfectly balanced images, we have a little bit of the yin in the yang and vice versa. It also has the blue and orange colors that are traditionally associated with twin flames. So regardless of whether you guys resonate with that label or not, I do think that this is a soul that mirrors you very, very closely. I think this is a soul that you have been with like virtually since the beginning of time, and you know each other inside and out. And I think that there will be a very strong and intense pull to each other at your meeting, but even before that. You guys have the crescent moon here, which I associate with like intuition, psychic insights, and this sort of thing. So I do feel that there will be a level of psychic or telepathic connection before you guys meet. Also, with this card being at night, the night sky is making me think that you might have a lot of dreams about each other. You might visit each other in the astral realm. So like while your 3D selves are sleeping, your 5D selves are connecting. I'm also looking at the evergreen trees, which is making me think of the eternalness of your connection. I really think you guys will be together forever. Looking at the meaning of this Opportunity card, you guys quite literally, I think, are going to bring a lot of opportunities into each other's lives. So how I'm kind of seeing this is that you guys will become quite successful and accomplished on your own, I think, before you come together into 3D. So, you know, you'll have a very abundant and prosperous career. You'll have, you know, your talents, your resources, your, you know, amazing connections, your amazing experiences. And I think you guys will both be doing something that is kind of different, because it's like, you have different talents to offer each other. You have different connections and experiences to offer each other. So each person has a lot of things that the other doesn't have, so that when you come together, your pool of resources or your pool of opportunities is like doubled. It becomes a lot more varied. It becomes a lot more diverse. Like you're really adding to each other's lives, if that makes sense. Like if you had exactly all the same experiences and all the same knowledge, like there's not much you can offer to each other, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here. You guys have had very different but very, very successful journeys. You come together, and all of the blessings and wealth and opportunities that you've accumulated, now you share and you double it. And I'm also wanting to point out this number 22 here. So that could be a repeating number that you guys see to let you know that this union is coming, or it could be the higher self of your soulmate or twin flame just coming in to say hi, just coming in to say I love you. So yeah, I think that's all the messages I have for these two cards. So let's move on now to the tea leaf oracle cards. We have Carrot, and look, this is the second pile that has like a doubling word. So we have the opportunity twice, opportunity or windfall. Yeah, you guys are definitely going to be a very successful and abundant couple. I'm also drawn to the orange color of the carrot, which is making me think of the sacral chakra. So I think you'll have a very passionate and intimate relationship with this person. Creativity and art and things like that, it might be like a central point in your relationship. So you guys might just enjoy the same kind of art together, or you might make art together. But the energy between the two of you, it's very joyful. It's like spontaneous and fun, yet it's grounded as well, because of course this carrot being a root vegetable, she is rooted firmly in the ground. So it's like, because you feel so safe with this person, then you feel safe to like explore and be adventurous and be spontaneous. And I think the trust that exists between the two of you is going to be very strong, unbreakable. And this might be a little extra, but I'm also thinking that carrots are healthy. So it's like your relationship is healthy. That's kind of dumb, but I do think it's true. Anyway, so your next card is marriage. So this is going to be the person that you marry, or if you don't want to get married, it will be like your permanent life partner, the person that you share your life with. And then we also have the month of May here. So the month of May could be the month that this person is born. It could be like a significant month, such as like your meeting or your wedding anniversary or something like that. I feel like you guys are gonna have a very beautiful wedding. You guys are gonna have like your dream wedding. May 22nd could also be a date that is significant, such as a birthday or an anniversary. But yeah, if this is a month that resonates with you, please take that as a confirmation in your journey. So this is what we have for, the general energy of your connection. So with that, we are going to move on to the specific stages of the journey. So the way I'm going to do it is you will be over on this side, your counterpart will be over on this side, and then as the stages progress, you get closer and closer together, and then we have the cards representing your union right in the middle. So the first stage that we are starting with is the time before the two of you have met each other. So on your end, there's the Queen of Cups, and on their end, there's the Magician. Interesting. I feel like you guys are both going to be practicing spirituality before you meet each other. On your end over here, you are the Queen of Cups, so I feel that you are really going to be exploring your psychic abilities. So claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and I feel like, I already said this before in the reading, but you are definitely going to be picking up on your counterpart telepathically before you meet. So you will be having a lot of dreams about them, and I think, lucid dreams that you can remember very well and get specific messages from them. So I feel like you're gonna know a lot about this person even before you meet. Like you'll kind of have a sense for their energy and what type of person they are, and even what they're going through in their life in real time. Like you'll have this sort of connection with them that you know what's up, even if you are not connected in the 3D. Also, with the Queen of Cups being very emotional, sensitive, empathic, you could pick up really, really strongly on your counterpart's emotions. But I think this has to do with you really dedicating yourself to your spiritual journey in general. So I also see you being dedicated to your own healing, your own shadow work. You may be working a lot on self-love, working on really protecting your energy and reconnecting with your higher self, of course, and the higher self of your counterpart. So it seems like you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes on your spiritual journey. So working on healing, working on psychic abilities. Whereas I feel like your soulmate is working more in the material world. I think what your soulmate is focused on before you guys are meeting is things like manifestation and the law of attraction. I think that your soulmate is a very smart and talented and ambitious person. And they really believe in this idea that, what you think and what you believe plays a huge role in shaping your reality. This is someone who is really a go-getter, like this number 1 here. It really is making me think of a divine masculine, like a go-getter, an action taker, somebody who is bold and confident and really seizes the day. So they could be working on, a very significant goal before you guys are meeting, and they are connecting to the universe. And I think that this person has that kind of spiritual belief that, if you set a positive intention, the universe will conspire to make it happen for you. I do think they will have the sense that they're working with something greater than them, or they're allowing something greater than them to work through them. So they may be actually, doing meditations, affirmations, scripting, visualizing, trying to manifest their dream life into reality. And that definitely will include, their career goals, their personal goals, and it includes their divine union. So I feel like even before you meet, this person is trying to manifest you. Now, they may not have that same psychic ability as you, like, they may not have that, what am I trying to say? That awareness of connecting with you telepathically. There it is. So, you know, they might not really remember if they had a dream about you, or they might not really see signs and synchronicities about you. For them, it's more like they have a very strong intention to meet you in the physical. They have a very strong will. So they're definitely wanting you and longing for you, but I'm not sure that they really pick up on, you know, that subtle telepathic connection that the two of you share. But, you know, regardless, you are both putting in the work to make this happen. But I think they're working more like with the tangible 3D world, and you're working more with the subtle realms. You're working more behind the scenes. So together, like, you're covering all the bases and you are manifesting each other. So this is really awesome to see. Now let's look at the next stage, and this is going to show us the moment of your meeting. So on your end, we have the lovers, and on their end, we have the 6 of Wands. So we have 2 number 6s on both of your sides. This is a number of balance, harmony, peace, love, and union, all beautiful things, all things that we love for you. The month of June could also be specific for you guys, or like the time frame of 6 months could be specific for you guys. But okay, let's start over here with the lovers. I love this card because, you know, they're so close and intimate together, and then there's this little Cupid looking angel that I imagine has brought them together. Definitely, we already know the universe is conspiring to bring you together, and I'm being shown here that there will be an instant recognition for you when you meet this person in the physical. Like, it will just click. The lovers to me also has elements of psychic connection, telepathic connection. So I think you'll know right away, this is the person that I have been channeling. This is the person that I have been feeling. You might even be able to recognize from how they look. Like, if you have seen this person in your dreams, you might recognize them and be like, that's the person I've been dreaming of. So what the lovers is really representing to me is like that instant click, that instant knowing that yes, this is my divine counterpart, the one that I've been feeling, the one that I've been manifesting. So it really does feel like a love at first sight. And like we mentioned in the beginning of the reading, like this intense pull towards each other. Now, this might only resonate for some of you, but I'm just looking at how they're very close, like they are kissing. You guys might have this kind of physical encounter even on your first meeting, or at the very least, you'll be like, you know, physically closer than you might be to someone you met for the first time. Like, for example, you're sitting really, really close to each other, like your shoulders are touching, or maybe you hold hands on the first date and that's not really like you. You know, you're getting very physically close to this person right from the get-go is what it feels like looking at this card. And then over here, on their end, there is the 6 of Wands. So this is actually a really nice card to follow the Magician, because they're setting an intention for success, for their desired outcome. And with the 6 of Wands, it looks like they're getting it. And the 6 of Wands, it has this energy of like, there are eyes on you, or you're like the center of attention. In the traditional artwork, it's like this person riding a horse and a bunch of people are following them. Like they're the popular one, or they're the famous one, or something like that. So as for the circumstances of your meeting, wherever it is, I feel like they're gonna be like one of the important people there, so to speak. So it could be like at their work, or somewhere where they are performing, somewhere where they are speaking, somewhere where their work or their art or whatever it might be is being showcased. So it's kind of like there's eyes on them, or they're kind of like the main thing, if that makes sense. And there might be a lot of people around them, like a lot of people trying to get their attention, but they are focused on you. I should say your soulmate is quite popular. They're quite attractive, and I think there's a lot of people who want to be like them, and there's also a lot of people who want to be with them. And so they could be kind of swamped with attention, and I think this will also be the case when you guys are meeting. It does feel like an organized event of some sorts with a lot of people there, but they will spot you out in the crowd. They will notice you, and they will only want to have their eyes on you. You know, because it feels like a very crowded and like hyped up kind of energy, and the Lovers feels a lot more close and intimate. It could be that you guys like relocate. So you're meeting in this bigger area, and then you relocate to like a quieter area so you can be alone and you can talk. And oh yeah, I should mention, the Lovers is Gemini energy. So the conversation between the two of you is going to be amazing. I feel like you guys will just talk and talk and talk forever, even though it is your first time meeting. You just click so well, you get along so well, you have so much to talk about. Like, you guys are divine counterparts. I think what you're going to find is that, you know, even if you look very different or you seem very different on the surface, your hearts are very similar. You know, you get each other in a way that is beyond words, because your souls are mirroring each other. So you just feel immediately very comfortable with each other, and I feel like you're gonna have very, very, very long conversations when you meet. So wow, this reading is lovely so far. So this is your moment of meeting. So the next thing that we want to look at is the time between your meeting and you entering into a romantic relationship. Now, judging from the Lovers card, I feel like things could progress pretty quickly, or at least the physical aspect of things could progress really quickly. But let's see like when you guys are going to be in a committed, emotional, serious relationship. So on your end, there is the Ace of Swords. And on their end, there's the Six of Cups. Okay, so you're meeting, you're hitting it off, you feel a very intense pull to each other, you know, emotions are very strong. And I think your soulmate, yeah, this sounds like your soulmate is going through a healing journey between the time that you have met and the time that you get together. Your soulmate has some things to heal. Specifically, I think there's a lot of stuff from their childhood or earlier on in life that they need to heal, because this is what the Six of Cups is about. It's about the past, it's about our childhood. They have some things that they need to work through, I think, before they are ready to commit in a relationship. And, you know, I definitely don't think it's for a lack of wanting to, because we saw with the Magician that they had set this intention to meet someone, to meet you, and they do want a partner in their life. But maybe as you guys, you know, get closer, some insecurities, some past wounds start to come up, and they kind of realize like, I'm not ready for this. Maybe they kind of get a little bit of cold feet, and they realize that they have some unresolved issues that they need to work on before they can be with you. This is one interpretation, because I feel a second one coming up. But one interpretation is definitely that they need to heal some wounds from their past. For a while, you know, after you guys meet and have this great time, you might find that, you know, at some point you became the only one to initiate the conversation. Like, you feel like you're always reaching out first, or you feel like you're making more effort. So you'll kind of feel like something is wrong. Like, why is this person pulling away? And it's because some insecurities are starting to come up for them, or some fears are starting to come up for them. That's one interpretation. The other one that also came up for me, it could be the opposite. So rather than this person, you know, pulling away, they might actually get like too close to you. Because I feel that this person does feel very safe and comfortable around you. If they have things to heal, what could happen is that they might start like putting too much of that on you, because you have such a sweet and sensitive, nurturing, you guys, if you're empaths, you'll know what I mean. It's like you have this antenna that just like attracts people who have some trauma to work through or have some fears to work through. And I think because your counterpart feels so comfortable around you, they might just start sharing a little bit too much or dumping a little bit too much. And of course, you really care for them. You want to really be there for them. But at the same time, because you're an empath, you know, it can be a lot to unpack all of that with them. And even if you don't identify as an empath, you know, having to deal with somebody else's issues when you have your own is a lot, and we need to have healthy boundaries in place. So they might just overstep that a little bit, is what I'm seeing as an alternate interpretation. And with this Ace of Swords here, it's like the need to communicate clearly in a way that might be kind of hard or kind of uncomfortable, you know, because it's like, I love you, I care about you, I want to be there for you, but you might have to kind of put your foot down and say to this person, like, I can't be there for you all the time, or, you know, maybe you should, you know, get some professional help for this, or deal with some things on your own. I'm very happy to help you, but I just can't deal with everything. And I think that could be very hard for you to say, but this person is going to appreciate your honesty a lot. And I think it's actually going to make your bond even stronger. So those are two, I think they're pretty different interpretations, because, you know, one of them involves a person pulling away too much, and the other one involves a person pushing towards you too much. But the underlying thing that is the same is that they have some unresolved issues to deal with, and you will have to be the one to, you know, communicate clearly your expectations from them. But this is obviously a temporary issue that is going to be resolved, because of course you guys are coming into a harmonious union. So with that being said, let's take a look now at your final cards, which are representing your final form, so to speak, or your romantic union. So we have Divine Animals and Ace of Pentacles. And this, oh, this is upside down. Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Hello, we have 2222. So this could be a very significant number for you guys. Definitely, I think a lot of you who chose this pile may resonate with the twin flame journey, but you're definitely like mirroring souls. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, you know, we saw you guys are working on your spiritual journey, you meet, there's a very strong pull. Then there's some difficulties with healing, there's some difficulties with fear and insecurity arising. There's a need to overcome that, and then you do. Like, yeah, this is really strong divine counterpart energy. Looking at this Divine Animals and this lion, first of all, Leo energy could be significant. So you or your soulmate could be a Leo. Again, it could be speaking to creativity being, you know, a central point of your relationship. So like I mentioned in the beginning, enjoying art and creativity together, or even creating together. You could also be having a child together, because Leo energy rules the 5th house, which does represent children. You guys could have a cat together as well. That's another message that is coming up. Or there could be something, some symbolism of lions that is relevant, or some symbolism of royalty that is relevant to your counterpart or to your union. For example, the place that you meet, it could be somewhere where like Leo things are done. So it could be like a concert, it could be an art show, something with art and creativity being like a main theme. There could even be, it could be even more literal than that. Like there could be a lion statue where you guys meet, or something like that. And it could be symbols of royalty too. So even like, I don't know, this person is from Queens, or this person is from Queensland, or this person is from Kingston. There could be some symbolism of royalty as well. So that could just be some things to look out for you guys, or some confirmation for you. But yeah, obviously you guys are overcoming this slight difficulty that you saw previously in the reading. I don't even think that it's going to last that long, honestly. It just seems like a little awkward situation where someone is getting too close or too far, and you have to tell them, you're too close, you're too far, what's going on? Kind of have to, you know, speak up and assert your expectations. So, you know, that could be kind of scary for you, but again, I see it going well. I see it actually bringing the two of you closer. I think as you get to know each other more and more, you're just going to uncover more and more things that you have in common emotionally, spiritually. Your heart chakra could be a place where you guys are very, very closely connected to. So you feel incredibly compassionate, kind towards one another. I feel like you're going to be very understanding and very tolerant towards one another. You will never judge each other for weaknesses, because we're in it together. If you have a weakness, I'm going to help and lift you up. If I have a weakness, you're going to help and lift me up. Like, there's no criticism, there's no shaming, there's no judging, you know? Yes, there's healthy communication and boundary setting, and maybe a little bit of calling out when that needs to be done, but it's never like in the way of putting the other person down. So yeah, you're building a very, very strong trust with each other because you have such honest and open communication, and it always comes from a place of love. And I think you guys really do have a soft spot for each other, even if you're not really like the mushy, romantic, sappy type. I feel like that will really come out when you're around each other. And I also see you guys really valuing any like date or any experience of sentimental value. So like anniversaries could be really important to you, like the anniversary of your first meeting, the anniversary of your first kiss, which might be the same day, the anniversary of your relationship, of moving in together, of all these things. It's like you remember them and they're really like important to you. You guys might keep little trinkets of your memories together, or like photographs or something like that. It feels very, very sentimental. Yeah. And then the Ace of Pentacles is abundance. Like, we already saw you guys, opportunity, windfall. You guys are meant to be financially abundant together in this lifetime. I do feel, like I said, you'll be doing different things. So I don't necessarily see a collaboration, at least for work purposes. Like, you guys could make things together for fun, but, you know, I don't see you, for example, like having a business together or something like that. I feel like you're kind of both doing your own thing, and you're both very successful at it, and you're both, you know, abundant, prosperous in your own way, in your own thing. But you guys will definitely live in a very, very nice house, and you'll be able to afford any experience that you want to have. You know, anything that you want to go out and see, any place that you want to travel to, you'll be able to do that. And I think also the Ace of Pentacles speaks to how stable this relationship is, because you can always count on each other to tell the truth, to be trustworthy, to encourage and support each other. You feel very, very grounded and safe with each other, which is just amazing. So, I really like the energy between the two of you. I'm going to end the reading there. I think that's all the messages I have for you. So, also, I think this is my favorite of all the crystals. It's so freaking cool. Anyway, yeah, yeah, thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also do have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards that you actually get to choose the topic for, that will be linked down below as well. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 4s, so if you chose the Lepidolite, this is going to be a reading all about the journey to your divine union. So the first thing I want to look at in this reading is the energy between you and your soulmate. So we'll see what type of connection you have and what role you are playing in each other's lives. And then we will look at 4 stages of your journey to union. So the 4 stages are before you meet each other, the moment that you meet each other, the time between meeting and entering into the romantic union, and finally, of course, your romantic union. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start with these 2 oracle cards, and these are going to give me an idea of the energy in your connection. So the first card that we have is Embracing and Magician in the Mirror. Ooh, so this pile also has sort of twin flame or divine counterpart symbolism, because we have, of course, the idea of mirroring each other, and we have the orange flame and the blue flame. So a lot of you guys who chose this reading, maybe you are on a twin flame journey, or this is a soul who mirrors you very, very closely, who you have been with for a very, very long time. There's something about the image on the Embracing card that makes me think that you guys maybe haven't seen each other in a while. That could be the case in the 3D if you already know this person, but I was thinking more from a soul perspective. Perhaps you guys haven't incarnated together in a very long time, or you have been incarnated on Earth, but it just, like, you didn't find each other or it didn't work out. And I think that's because the way this bird is standing there in the sunset, it kind of looks like they're looking over the horizon, longing for something, searching for something. Maybe they're standing there waiting for somebody and wondering if they're ever going to come over that horizon. That's just the feeling that it gave me for your reading today. So this could be somebody you know in the 3D and haven't seen in a long time, or your souls have been, trying to cross paths for many, many lifetimes, to no avail, and this is the lifetime that you are finally reuniting. Embracing, we could also take it in the literal meaning as, the 2 of you holding each other, the 2 of you hugging each other. There could be something very powerful about that, like the energy that you get from this person when you're in their arms is like indescribable. It feels like something out of this world. It may even be a moment of embracing, which is like when you know for sure, I know that you're the one, I know that you're my person, because nobody else has ever made me feel like this just from a hug or just from an embrace. So I feel like that, physical touch between the 2 of you is going to be very, very, I was going to say life-changing. Is that too dramatic? Well, that's the word we're gonna go with. But this card, Embracing, the traditional meaning, it is about embracing changes, embracing fluctuations. The idea is that, this land is, dry sometimes, and it gets inundated with water. And when it gets inundated, some nutrients are deposited. I'm trying to remember what was written in the guidebook, but it's about embracing that flooding, because it is nourishing you, it is healing you, and it will fluctuate. It will be dry, and then the water will flood in, and then it will come out again, embracing this coming and going. So this could be a lesson for your souls. At times you'll be together, at times you will go your own way and learn your own lessons, but you will always come back to each other. So the lesson that you're learning is to embrace that journey and embrace that flow. And this could even be the case, again, within this one 3D incarnation, that you come together, come apart, come together, come apart. This could kind of be the flow of your relationship for some time, whether that is because of long distance just came to my mind. It could be that, you know, you guys meet and then before long you have to say goodbye again and go back to your respective cities or even countries. So it's this kind of back and forth for a while. You know, it could definitely be some circumstance, some outside circumstance like that. For some of you, it might be like a right person, wrong time situation where, you know, you meet and you really feel and recognize that they're the one, but it's just not the right time for you emotionally, or there's other things going on in your life. It could be something like that as well. But I feel this ebb and flow, this like union and separation. So again, that can be in the 3D sense that you're doing that in this lifetime, or it can just be that your souls, it's been a long time since you incarnated together, but it feels like this lifetime is bringing you the blessing of a very powerful and very happy reunion. And this relationship will be very, very healing as well. The two of you mirror each other, so there's opportunities for a lot of healing. You will shine light on all parts of each other, on the good, the bad, the ugly. And of course, that can be an uncomfortable process to be completely exposed, not only to your partner, but to yourself. But there is amazing opportunity for healing in this connection. Okay, so let's look at your tea leaf oracle cards now. We have Cain, pay attention to your health. So physical, mental, emotional health could be a significant factor in this relationship. Interestingly, you guys were drawn to Lepidolite, which is meant to aid in our mental and emotional health. It can help to soothe things like anxiety and depression. So someone's health could be a factor in this connection, and it could even be a reason for some distancing or some separation at times, something that needs to be worked through. Okay, yes. Astral house is career. So career could be a significant factor as well. You guys could meet at work as a result of pursuing your dream careers, or it could be somebody's work even that results in distance. Like for the example of a long distance relationship, it could be that one of you cannot move because of your career. It could also be that someone is very focused on their career or needs to focus on their career before the two of you can have your union. So someone's career will play a role here as well. The letter C might be significant too, because we have two C words. This could be somebody's initial. Also the letter M, because we have magician and mirror. And for your month of the year, we have October. So this could be somebody's birth month, or it could be a significant month for you guys, like the month that you meet. So if this month is relevant for you guys, then this can be a confirmation for you. It could also represent the month that you will be coming into union with your soulmate. Okay, so that's all we have for the first oracle card. So let's get into the stages of your union now. So the way this will work is you will be over here on this side, your soulmate will be over here on this side, and as we go through the stages, you'll get closer and closer together until we reveal the final cards which represent your union. So the first stage that we're going to look at is before the two of you have met each other. So on your end, we have the Ace of Swords, and on their end, we have the Ten of Cups. So before you meet your soulmate, what I'm seeing with the Ace of Swords is that there will be some sort of new beginning, the start of a new chapter in your life, because of course Ace is the one, it is the beginning. And the Ace of Swords can represent a beginning that is a little bit difficult. And this is seen here with imagery of mountains and clouds. So mountains can represent some, obstacle or adversity that you have to get over, a challenge. And clouds represent confusion or uncertainty. So I think you guys will be at a point in your life where you have been deliberating, trying to make a decision whether you should close off a chapter of your life to start a new one, or if you should stay where you are. And it's hard to make the decision because if you choose to start the new chapter, you know that there will be a lot of challenges in that, a lot of difficulties that come up, and there will be uncertainty represented by the clouds, because of course you cannot see into the future and know exactly how everything is going to go. And in some level, it's easier to stay where we currently are because it's predictable and we feel a sense of safety in that. So this could be something like, should I stay in my current job or should I pursue something entirely different? It could be even like changing a major or changing schools. It could be moving to another place, like should I move or should I stay where I am? But it is really the definitive marking of a new chapter in your life. So it does seem like, a pretty life-changing decision. So after a lot of thought, after a lot of deliberation, you guys will make the choice to start a new chapter. And, the Ace of Swords, it's about mental clarity, it's about decisiveness, and I also feel a very strong sense of intuition with this card. It's like the sword is almost an antenna for you to get your intuitive insights. And I feel like you guys, it's like you knew all along that you should start this new chapter, or you knew all along that that was really what you wanted to do. So it wasn't really a matter of weighing the options, but maybe you prolonged that phase of weighing the options out of fear, or it seemed like the rational thing to do, but deep down in your heart you knew, like, I really do want to break free, I really do want to start anew. So this represents a moment, I think, where you have finally, well, maybe not worked through your fears, because I think you'll still be a little bit afraid, and naturally so, but you've reached a point where you're like, I'm not going to let my fears get in the way of something that could potentially be amazing. And you will make that decision to, change your career or change your school or change your living situation, whatever it might be. So when you start this new chapter, that means your soulmate is near. When you have found the courage to make this decision, blessings are on the other side. So remember that on the other side of this mountain, on the other side of these clouds, that's where your blessings lie, including your divine counterpart. So you will be so rewarded for the risk that you take. Now let's go over here to your soulmate. So as you guys might know, the Ten of Cups is a very, very happy card. Your soulmate will at least appear to be living a perfect life, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that's not so much the case. This is somebody who seems to have it all, It seems like they have everything. They have the perfect job. Maybe they're very good looking. Maybe they're very successful, or maybe they're very wealthy. They might even be in a relationship before meeting you. Like they have a significant other and everybody thinks that like they're the perfect couple. So, I think there could be a lot of people who envy and look up to your soulmate. And your soulmate also presents themselves as being very, very happy. And, I think on some level they are very grateful for all the things they have. This is a very blessed person. But it's always felt like something is missing for them. And I have a feeling that behind this surface of sunshine and rainbows, they're actually struggling inside. The first word that actually came to my mind now was suffering inside. And that sounded a little bit more heavy. And, I don't want to worry you guys because, of course, this is somebody you deeply care about. But they could be really, really struggling inside, but they don't show it. And they're just playing this role of like, living the perfect life, perfect job, and this and that. And I feel like nobody around them really understands or really sees what they're going through. They could even feel, kind of guilty to talk about it, because it's like, why should you be struggling like mentally or emotionally if you have everything? Now, of course, we know that if you're suffering with your mental health, like you could have everything in your physical experience, you could have all the blessings, but it doesn't matter. It's something deeper than that. But there can be a little bit of guilt or like shame to reach out and ask for help. And I think that's what this person might be going through before they meet you. And so to them, it kind of feels like they're playing a part, of this super happy and successful person, but they don't really feel it on the inside. They kind of feel like something is missing. So for the next stage of your journey, this is going to represent your moment of meeting each other. So on your end, we have the Queen of Swords, and on their end, Wheel of Fortune. This is interesting, and this is actually the second pile to have the Wheel of Fortune. I think it was in a different position, but I think that's very interesting because this card talks about some kind of divine intervention. This talks about the universe conspiring to bring the two of you together. It's often unpredictable, and it feels kind of like serendipitous, like you guys just happen to meet by chance. It can often indicate like you bump into this person when you are not looking for them. So for example, I wouldn't really often see with the Wheel of Fortune that you're meeting like on a dating app or something, because, you know, if you're on a dating app, you are looking for your person, you're looking for your partner and taking steps towards it. So I don't really see things like that with this card. And I tend to also think that you don't really have any mutual people in your life, like mutual friends or something, or at least it's not like you're being introduced by a mutual friend. It's like really by chance you just happen to run into each other because the universe like picked you up and brought both of you to the right place at the right time. So like you just happen to be at the same public place at the same time. And also with the Wheel of Fortune, it could be, because it's on your soulmate's end, it could be that the universe like intervenes to change their plans so that they end up with you. If I can think of an example, it's like maybe you guys are in like a really big school and there's like a mix-up and they end up in your class when they were originally in a different class. I don't know if that's even something that happens, but you know, because of some mix-up, they end up where you are, is like what I'm trying to convey. Or like they were in a different group for a group project and then somehow they end up in your group. Or the gym they always go to is closed for some weird reason and then they have to go to your gym instead. I hope you get the picture. They missed their plane, so now they're like hanging around the airport, and then because of that you end up there at the same time as them. It's like this kind of thing. Little changes of plans that the universe is like, oops, I guess you have to go meet your soulmate now. So it's not planned. It's not like you're not out there looking for them. You will like run into each other like this. And I see that you guys will get to talking. You guys will have very good conversation. The Queen of Swords is showing me this. And what is very interesting about this is that I feel like you're gonna see through this person so quickly. The Queen of Swords is very intelligent, and I feel like nothing can really get past her because the swords represents truth, and it represents like that sharp mind. And you know, this just might be you in general, like you might just be very good at reading people in general, but of course this is your mirror, this is your soulmate, this is your twin flame, whatever label you resonate with. And you know, you'll see through this right away. You know, like there's something deeper going on here, because I feel like you will recognize yourself in this person. And maybe there was a point in your life where, oh yeah, maybe there was a point in your, okay, look, sorry, we have a 1 here and we have a 10 here. 10 represents the end, 1 represents the beginning. So you just chose your beginning. You just chose your 1. So before you were at the 1, you were at this 10 because you were at an ending. So maybe like you've just been where this person was, where you were living this life that everybody thought was like, you're so great, you're so lucky, but inside you didn't feel it. Inside you didn't feel fulfilled. You didn't feel passionate about anything you were doing. And it's like, should I start something new? Oh, but you know, I really am fortunate to have this job. I really am fortunate to have this and that. You know, the feeling of guilt and the feeling of fear of the unknown. I feel like you were just where this person was because your experiences will definitely mirror each other as well. So you have been where they are. You see through their persona, you see through their illusion. You are like holding up the mirror to this person, because this person knows that they should step up and they should embrace their ace too. They should embrace their new beginning too. You're like, yeah, you're like a catalyst for their awakening, or for them to choose their awakening. And honestly, this person at first, they might feel a little bit intimidated by you, or you could trigger their fears or trigger their insecurities in some way. So they might be like a little bit distant from you in the beginning, because if they're afraid of you, it means they're afraid of their mirror, which means they are afraid of themselves. There's something within themselves that they are afraid of uncovering. And so the fact that you can see into their soul so piercingly, I don't know if that's a word, but so clearly, so sharply, there's something about that that scares them. So they we'll have to see, but they may take on the act of a runner at the beginning. Like they're a little bit afraid to get close to you because they're not ready to look in their mirror yet, or something like this. But yeah, you guys should know that the way you see this person, like you see them for how they truly are. You see something deeper. So if you're ever thinking like, no, this person's like words and actions are not in alignment with who they truly are, you should know that you're accurate with that. Like you do see this person in a very accurate way. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage. This is going to show us the time between your meeting and then finally your romantic union. So on your end, we have the 8 of Wands. And on their end, we have 8 of Cups. So this is actually really nice to see for them, 8 of Cups, because this is about walking away. This is about leaving something behind. And oh, they actually have a double 10. So yeah, they're definitely meant to close off some cycle in their life. There's definitely things that they're supposed to walk away from, whether that be their career, whether that be like if they are in another relationship, this may be like a karmic relationship that they need to walk away from. It could also be platonic relationships that they need to step away from, that just, you know, are not healthy for them and aren't really serving anybody's highest good. But yeah, this double 10 here is really making me think that they need to end this cycle the same way you have. And I guess I would say, just for anybody, if you are feeling ever, you know, kind of impatient or like frustrated with this person, I'm not saying that you all are, but just in case those feelings ever started to creep in, I guess I would try to remember like how you felt when you were at your 10, like when you knew you needed to close a cycle and maybe you were scared and you were unsure and you kind of dragged your feet a little bit, even though you knew what you should do. Even though you know what you should do, sometimes it takes time until you're brave enough to do it. So I guess, you know, if you ever feel frustrated waiting for this person's 10, the end of their cycle to end, try to remember like how you felt when you were making this decision, because it really is hard. With the mountains, with the clouds, it's hard. So they will come out of it. They will move on from the things that they need to move on from so that they can enter into this relationship with you. So yeah, over here we have the 8 of Wands, which I didn't even realize when I was saying this, but the 8 of Wands can be about like a lot of things happening too fast. So yeah, I would say just be careful of impatience, or be careful of trying to rush things, because the process of healing, the process of awakening, it's on its own time. We can't force it, we can't rush it, and it shouldn't be rushed. I say this a lot, so maybe you've heard me say it before, but yeah, with the 8 of Wands, just be a little bit aware of that. But I will say that's actually not the first thing that came to my mind with the 8 of Wands. Something completely unrelated came to my mind first, and I will tell you what it is. I think after you meet this person, yeah, and especially with the Magician here, after you meet this person, you're gonna start manifesting things weirdly quickly and weirdly specifically. You know, like you just think, oh, I wish that I could have this. I wish that it could happen. And it happens like 30 minutes later. Like really fast manifestation or manifesting very specific signs. I don't know if you guys have ever played this little game with the universe where you ask for a really dumb specific sign. Like, I want to see a tiger holding a purple flower with 9 petals. Like, you just make it really specific and weird and see if the universe can deliver it. And I feel like you guys are going to start realizing, ever since you've met this person, your manifesting senses are strengthening so much. Like, this union has awoken this inner magician within you. Oh, I guess that could even make, you know, like if you're waiting for the union, that could make things frustrating. Like, you're manifesting all of these signs, you're manifesting all of this proof and all of these opportunities and blessings for yourself. But when it comes to your soulmate coming around, it feels like things are taking time. But I would say please be patient and please give them their time. I think it's really going to be worth the wait. So let's look at your final cards now, which are going to represent your union and the relationship between the two of you. Meditation and Temperance. Oh, there's a lot of 8s here I'm noticing as well. There's 8, 8, 8. And then of course we have 10, 10, and we have a 1 here. And there's even 53, which adds up to 8. So a lot of 8s happening in this reading. You guys might see this number as a sign that meeting this person is close, or that your union is close if you already know them. Or it could be their higher self coming through to say hello or to say I love you. And if I can be a little bit extra, even the infinity on top of the magician's head is shaped like an 8. And if I can be a little extra, again, October is the 10th month. So 10, 10, 10, and 1. You might see repeating 1s as well, or repeating 10s. This is hands down the pile with the most repeating numbers. 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, that's crazy. So you guys really, you're gonna have like signs and synchronicities like off the charts. I think maybe after meeting this person physically, it's really, really gonna pick up. But of course, it could start happening before you meet this person. The meditation card is just making me feel so calm, centered, present. There is a heart on this card, which can be indicative of the heart chakra, meaning that your heart spaces are very, very closely connected. This means that you will be so kind and gentle with each other. You will be so loving and accepting of each other. And there's something about that, you know, being in the present moment and centered and focused that is associated with meditation. It's making me think like when the two of you are together, it's like time stops, or it's like nothing else in the world exists. There's just the two of you. You go into your own little world, and when you're together, there's no distraction. You're not thinking about like what you have to do in the future, or worrying about the past, or, you know, checking your devices or your tasks or whatever. You're just in the moment with each other, and you bring, yeah, this lepidolite is a very, very soothing stone too. So you just bring peace, calm, and healing to each other. I feel like really when you're together, it's like you have no concept of time. You could be together for hours, and it's like time stops. You could, I hate when I get all cheesy, but I think of the expression like you could get lost in somebody's eyes. This person's eyes will feel very warm and familiar to you. They will feel like home. in a way that you can't explain. Like when you look at their eyes or when you are hugging them, it's like coming back home. It's like coming back to a part of yourself. If you're trying to manifest this relationship right now, like meeting this person or coming into union with this person, meditation could be a big help because it will help you to release resistance. It will help you to detach from the outcome, or like detach from that feeling of needing to rush things, and it will help you embrace the present moment no matter what it might look like. And I see with the Temperance card that could be really, really important for you guys. Temperance is about having patience, it's about having faith, and holding back from those, you know, impulsive thoughts or obsessive thoughts or really fluctuating emotions. Yeah, Spirit wants you to be calm. Spirit wants you to be assured that this union is coming to you. But the Temperance as well, it's really making me feel you guys perfectly complement each other, because Temperance is also about like a perfect balance, a perfect harmony. You're the yin to each other's yang. You're the orange flame to the blue flame. You're so perfect for each other. Like your similarities complement each other, your differences complement each other. And there's also a message of health with Temperance, or at least I think there is. That's how I've interpreted it. I feel like you are each other's really big supporters, like to stay healthy. So you may support each other's mental health journey or even physical health journey. But you keep each other feeling supported, you keep each other feeling nurtured, and you keep each other on track. Like you're a great support system for each other. So there is a really beautiful relationship ahead for you if you are patient and if you keep having faith. Okay, so that's all the messages I have for you. I'm gonna end the reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in even more exclusive pick-a cards, which you get to choose the topic for, that will be linked down below as well. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number fives. So if you guys chose the pink opal, this is going to be a reading all about the journey to your divine union. So the first thing that I want to look at in this reading is the energy that exists between you and your person. So what type of connection you have and what role you play in each other's lives. And then we will look at the stages of your journey. So there are 4 stages that we're going to look at, starting with the time before you meet each other. Then we'll look at the moment of your meeting, then the time after your meeting until your romantic union, which will be the 4th and final stage that we look at. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start with these 2 oracle cards here, and these are going to give me an idea of what your connection is like. So the first card that we have is protection and happy family. I love this card so much, and to me you guys really have a double protection message here, because of course we literally have the word protection here, but you also have a number 4 card, and 4 is a number of divine protection. You guys might see repeating 4s as a way for your guides, your angels, to let you know that they are watching over you, and also that they're watching over your counterpart, and they're going to make sure that you have your happy union in this lifetime. This can even be a message from your soulmate's higher self, that they're always watching over you and always protecting you. And I am sure that your higher self is doing the same for them. And this will be true regardless, like if you are currently in this person's life or not, whether you have met them before or not. I really do feel like your higher selves are protecting and guiding each other. And of course, this can be the case in your 3D interactions as well. So the two of you may be very protective of each other. You're always there for each other no matter what. In your relationship with this person, you will be each other's like number one support. You always have each other's back. You are each other's best friend. You're extremely loyal to each other. I just got the message of acts of service, so that might be a love language that is very strong between the two of you. Especially, I feel when one of you guys is very busy, the other one might step in and say, you know, it's okay, you rest, you do what you need to do, and I will get this other thing done for you. Sort of making the load lighter or making life less hard for the other person. You're always there, you always have each other's back in that way. And whatever life throws at you, you will deal with it together. So in this way, you're like each other's armor. You're like each other's protection. I also feel very, very strong family vibes, of course, because we have the word family here, but this tree as well, it is making me think that the two of you are part of a larger soul family. So you go way back, you have definitely incarnated many times before, although you may take like different roles, you may not always be romantic, but I feel like your souls are very familiar with each other. Like I said, they're members of the same family. And I think that you also have soul family members who are protecting and watching over you. So you guys have a lot of divine support. I also want to mention that trees can be a symbol of longevity, which means that the two of you will very likely be together forever. You will be together for a very, very long time. And I love I don't know if you would call it duality, but you know, the tree has roots that grow deep into the ground, and it also grows to be tall and stretch up to the sky. So it's like, this is a connection that helps you stay grounded and humble, and yet it also allows you to really soar and reach your truest potential. So this is looking really, really beautiful to start off with. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention is the lightning bolts in this card, because it makes me think of like downloads. So you might get spiritual downloads about this person, about this connection, and I feel like this is your soul family up in the soul realm who is like dropping little bits of information to you. I'm sorry about the siren, there's been a lot of sirens today. But yeah, we're starting off with, let's take a look at your tea leaf oracle cards now. The first one that we have is Heart. I love this card. It's pretty self-explanatory. We have the message of love, deep affection, and caring. Interestingly, you guys were drawn to the pink opal, which is a stone that is linked to the heart and the heart chakra. It helps to soothe our emotional body. It helps us to live in peace and harmony. I was even thinking of saying, because of the beach imagery, that you guys will live a very relaxing life together. And then for some reason, I was like, nah, that's a dumb message. But you know what? I think it could really be the case because we do have this very relaxing, peaceful, soothing energy coming from this reading. I think this is the effect that you have on each other. And I think this is the type of life that you are meant to live together. I think you guys are meant to live a life that is either free of stress or like the environment that you share together, like your home. It's like a beautiful way for you to relieve your stresses and reconnect with yourself and get grounded again. You have that soothing effect on each other, and you guys might actually live in a very nice place. You might live by the beach, or you might live out in nature. Of course, if that's something that you like, please take that how it resonates. But I think you guys will definitely live in a very beautiful home in your most ideal environment. You know, the number 4 also has to deal with the home and the family. So I definitely think your home life is going to be very content. And you guys may also have a family together if that is something that you want. For your astral house, we have happiness. I really don't think that I need to explain this one, so I'll just leave it at that. And for the month of the year, we have November. So this month here, it could be the birth month of your soulmate, or it could be the month that you guys meet, or the month that you guys met. If you already know this person, and you met them in November, this could be a confirmation for you, or it could even be a significant month, like the month you get together, or even the month you get married, or something like that. So just keep in mind, if this is a month that resonates with you, that it can be confirmation. If not, it can be a month to look forward to. I also feel like April could be a significant month because of the number 4 here, or it could be a date like November 4th. Yeah, so just some dates and times to look out for there. So this concludes the first portion of the reading, and now we're going to move down here and map out your journey. So the way this will work is you will start over here and your soulmate will start over here. And as we go through the stages, you will get closer and closer together until you meet at the middle, and we will reveal the cards that represent your union. So the first stage that we're going to start with is the stage before the two of you have met each other. So on your end, we have the 8 of Cups, and there's even more beach imagery here. And then on their end, we have the Sun. So you guys might know the 8 of Cups is about walking away from something. And generally, we're walking away from something that it can't offer anything to us anymore. The idea with this card is that the cups are empty. So it's like, there's nothing left for me here anymore. I have outgrown this environment. I've outgrown this situation, and it's time for me to move on to something that is more meaningful and something that is more fulfilling. And I feel that a lot of you, this might be tied into your spiritual journey. Like as you start to connect more and more with your higher self, you start to uncover your purpose here, like in what ways you came here to grow, what you came here to experience. You start to uncover your divinely gifted talents, and you start to realize what in your life needs to go, or what you need to walk away from, so that you can develop into your highest self. So right before you guys meet your soulmate, you might be walking away from a job, you might be walking away even from another relationship, whether that is romantic, or you could be cutting off some platonic relationships as well. That is definitely a sign of a spiritual leveling up. You could be walking away from a certain place as well. So of course it's a general reading. It could be one or even several of these things, but there will be a walking away of some sort before you walk into your soulmate. And you may be embarking on this journey alone. So it could be kind of scary, you know, like moving somewhere new on your own, or, you know, starting out at a new school or a new job where you don't know anybody. There could be this sense of like, I'm really going into this alone and I have to support myself. To me, this really feels like a journey to independence that you're going to be embarking on before meeting your soulmate. Now, on the other hand, over here, your soulmate is represented by the Sun. So I feel like your soulmate has been in a place where they're trying to really figure out their purpose, trying to really figure out what they're passionate about. You know, maybe they're trying to start their own projects, but they haven't really figured out quite yet just exactly what they want to do, or exactly what they want to be, exactly what they would be good at. And right before meeting you, this to me, for some reason, is feeling like a eureka moment where they just get this amazing idea, something clicks for them, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is the path that I'm going to take. This is the idea that I'm going to set into action. This is the business that I'm going to start. This is the project that I'm going to do. This is the career I'm going to pursue. Whatever it might be, it's like after a long period of waiting for this sun to come up, you know, of not really knowing where they wanted to go. And sorry for the pun, but like suddenly it dawns on them and they're like, yes, this is it. And so they're in a place of feeling really, really excited about this new chapter. They're full of inspiration, they're full of motivation, and they're ready to get started. It's as if like they knew that they wanted to write a book, but they couldn't figure out what they wanted to write a book about. And then they're like, yes, that's it. And then they head straight to the, why was I going to say typewriter? It's 2021. They head straight to their laptop and they're like working away and super inspired. So it's like this, they're full of energy, they're full of vitality, and they are creating something that they're really, really excited about. So you are actually both in very exciting times of your life, but on your end I feel a little bit more like apprehension for this transition. Maybe you're feeling a little bit scared, not knowing what's to come. On your soulmate's end, they're just like, woo, like super excited, super happy-go-lucky about it. I feel like they're not even worrying about the outcome. They're just so excited to have found something that they really, really love. So anyway, it's interesting how they kind of mirror each other, but they're also kind of different. So let's take a look at the next stage for you guys now. The next stage is going to represent the moment that the two of you meet each other. So on your end, we have the Knight of Swords. Ooh. On their end, we have the Four of Wands. Okay, so you guys are definitely falling for each other very, very quickly. We have another number 4 showing up here. As for how or where you guys are meeting, these are pretty different to me. So it could be that, you know, for some of you, it's going to be different, but some of you guys I think will meet online, or you will meet through social media. Like one of you finds the other person's social media and you start talking. It could even be like because they had this brilliant idea and they started putting themselves out there, like you might find them as a result of that. I feel like that's a message for a very select few of you, but it could also be like not just social media. It could be through an app or some sort of online community that you guys find each other. That could definitely be the case for some of you. For others of you, I feel like you might actually meet at some sort of party or celebration. It could even be a wedding, because Four of Wands can talk about weddings, or, you know, some kind of celebration, some kind of party, some kind of gathering. And, you know, of course, those are very different because one of them is like in person, the other one is like there's a distance between the two of you. So please take that how it resonates. I feel like we kind of have a mixed group in this pile, but I can see for sure that you're both falling for each other very, very fast. The Knight of Swords, it is about something moving very, very quickly, like a lot of things happening at once. You guys are just going to click, and I think it's like kind of scary how fast you are falling for this person. It might make you feel a little bit vulnerable. And the Knight of Swords, or, you know, the Swords court cards in general, they have this like rational and logical sort of aspect to them. And I think one of the reasons you have fallen so quickly and so deeply for this person, of course, is because you're members of the same soul family. You are this person's soulmate. But I feel like, you know, sometimes that fact is not so easily accepted by the logical part of our mind. Like the logical part of our mind doesn't want to accept that we could feel so strongly for somebody that we have just met, or feel so strongly for somebody that we have briefly spoken to. And very often this could lead to us doubting ourselves or feeling crazy, or not really allowing ourselves to feel the extent of what we feel for that person. And I think this might kind of be where you guys are at. And that's not to say that you are not spiritual and that you're not connected to your intuition, because humans are complex and we very much have both sides. But I think in order to protect you and protect your emotions, that rational side of you will kind of jump out, because, you know, falling so hard for someone so fast, it can make you vulnerable. So there will be a bit of fear there, I feel. And like I said, that rational part will jump ahead and try to question, like, how could you feel so strongly for this person you just met? And you may be trying to talk yourself out of falling for this person that fast, you know, as a way to defend or protect yourself. So that's kind of where you're at. Over here, this is so cute because, like I mentioned before, this is about wedding. So it could be that you guys meet at a wedding or some kind of celebration like that. But I also think this is showing that this person will know right from the start, from the first time they meet you, like, yep, this is the person that I'm gonna marry. They'll just know that you're the one. They're gonna be so, both of these cards, these are like two of the most joyful cards in the tarot deck. So I feel like your soulmate is an incredibly cheerful and optimistic person. They just like ooze positive energy. I'm sure that they are so loved by the people in their life. They have infectious smile, infectious laughter. They're just a ball of sunshine. So yeah, they're gonna be really, really happy to meet you. They might compliment you a lot with this sun card, which, you know, might make you feel very happy or very uncomfortable depending on how you take compliments, but just know that they mean it. They're not trying to flatter you. They just think you're so amazing, and they just know from the start, yep, this is the one, this is my person, this is the person I'm gonna marry. Even if they're not like a spiritual person who is all like, you know, this is my soulmate, this is my twin flame, or whatever it might be, sometimes you just get that gut feeling. Sometimes you just know. And maybe it sounds like a rom-com, or it sounds like a fairy tale to say like, I knew from the minute I laid eyes on you, but that's really how this person is gonna feel about you. You guys might find out upon meeting each other that you live very close to each other, or that you have like mutual acquaintances, and it's kind of like, why have I never run into you before? It could be something like that. And that could be especially weird, like if you guys are connecting on social media, like your hometowns might be really close together, or your houses might be really close together. And like, you know, some of the same people, and it's like, oh, like, it's so interesting we didn't cross paths until now, but it's divine timing, isn't it? Okay, so this is the stage where you guys have met each other. So now let's look at the time in between your meeting until your romantic union. So on your end, we have the Hierophant, and on their end, we have the Fool. I wonder if after your first meeting, there's going to be a period where you don't see each other for a long time. Either you don't see each other for a long time, or for some reason, like, things are not like moving forward in the relationship. Maybe you're staying friends for a very long time, or something like this. But it feels like for whatever reason, for a while after you guys have met each other, things are not really moving to a romantic dynamic. The reason I thought this is because I see two very different approaches here when it comes to what should I do about this connection? What should I do about this relationship? On your end over here, I do sense, I don't know if you guys are kind of the type to like worry or to overthink or something like that, because I feel like that sort of tendency has come out in all of the cards on your side. But I feel like there's gonna be a point where you don't really know where this relationship is going, and instead of just enjoying it, it's like you may be tending to like obsess or trying to figure out, what should I do, where is this gonna go, what's gonna happen. Because with the Hierophant here, interestingly, in this card, it looks like the two people are begging. The two people, rather than sitting there and listening, it almost looks like they're desperate and like pleading for something from the Hierophant. The Hierophant is this higher being. He's like the teacher. He has knowledge for us to learn from. So I'm seeing this as like, you guys may be asking your friends for advice a lot about, what should I do about this connection? You may be even, you know, getting a lot of readings about this person, whether it's like watching a lot of general readings, or even, you know, paying and getting a personal reading, because you just feel like, I need answers. I need to know where this is going. I need to know what I should do. You know, you're seeking from some higher source of wisdom. What am I supposed to do about this person? That's kind of how it feels to me. Whereas on your soulmate's end, your soulmate is the Fool, and you guys might know, like, the Fool does not have a care in the world. The Fool just goes with the flow and is open to their blessings. And so what's really interesting here is, like, from the minute they met you, they knew that you're the one, but because they knew that, it gives them a sense of calm. So even if you guys don't see each other for a long time, or you get separated somehow, it's almost like because the person is so freaking sure, they're okay with that. They're like, oh yeah, we parted ways, but I know that we're gonna see each other again. I know I'm gonna see this person again because that's the person I'm gonna marry. And then they just go about their life. And it's interesting because this is like what Spirit is always telling us to do, right? Just rest assured knowing that this blessing is secured for your future. And keep enjoying your life, keep going about your life, and free yourself from that expectation, or free yourself from that obsession. And it's interesting how this person, who I feel is not really like actively doing any spiritual practices or anything of that nature, it just comes to them so naturally. It's almost as if sometimes I feel like having the knowledge, like, this person is your soulmate and there's a divine plan, it kind of, it's like a jinx, if that's the right word, because then we're like, oh, they're my soulmate, what should I do? I don't want to mess it up, and this and that. Whereas I feel like on your soulmate's end, they're like, yep, that's my future spouse, I know it, and I know that we're not together right now, but we will be. They just know it so surely that they can be like this Fool and just continue and go about their life and not worry about it. And then I feel like a more tense energy on your end, where it's like you want answers, like from your guides or from readers or from your friends or whatever it is. What should I do? What should I do? Where is it going? And that unknown is like bothering you. And maybe it's like it's hard to have faith that you guys will come back together. It's hard to have faith that this is going to go somewhere. I feel like there's definitely a tendency for you guys to worry and overthink in this way. So with that being said, let's take a look at your union and your relationship together. So we have the Divine Feminine and Four of Pentacles. And ooh, look, we have another 4 and we have a 31. Which adds up to 4. So in total, we have 4 4s appearing in this reading. So that can definitely be a number that you guys are seeing frequently, or you will start to see frequently when you're meeting with this person or when your romantic union is near. I think there will be a period after you have met this person and before you're united in your relationship that you are actually more in contact with their higher self than their 3D self. I'm just looking at the Hierophant again, and the number 5, it's making me think of spirituality and 5D, and, you know, communicating with, you know, a larger or more higher up being. I feel like, yeah, there will be a point, I feel, where it's like you're not seeing each other, or you're not talking, or things are not progressing for whatever reason. And so a lot of your closeness to this person is like through their higher self talking to you. And now that I think about it, repeating 4s can also tell us nothing has gone wrong, everything is perfect, everything is happening as it should, even if it doesn't seem that way. And your blessings are secured for you. You are protected, you are safe. And if you're struggling to have faith, I can very much see your soulmate's higher self coming through for you a lot and sending you these 444, sending you these repeating numbers to let you know that everything is okay and everything is happening as it should. So for a while, I think a lot of this connection will be developing in the 5D. That could be worrisome, that could even be painful. But I just think this contrast is so interesting. And it just shows like what faith will do to you. So yeah, a lot of protection here. You have the 4 of Pentacles as well. this is secured for you no matter what. This union is secured for you no matter what. I'll get a little bit into that in a second, but I have to say this before I forget. With the Divine Feminine, I'm being shown that your future with this person is a lot like the Empress kind of energy. So you will have a very abundant and prosperous future with this person. I think it's very likely that you will have a family, that you will have children. Of course, if that's not something that you want, that message is not for you. But I think a lot of people who chose this pile are destined to have a happy family and a happy home with their soulmate. You guys might join together, like some joint idea, some joint venture, and make a lot of money together. And your relationship, it's the Empress, so it's loving, it's passionate, it's affectionate, it's nurturing, it's patient, it's tolerant. The Empress's love is unconditional. Again? I'm sorry guys, there have been so many sirens in your reading. But the relationship that exists between the two of you, it's all loving, it's all accepting, and it's so gentle. Like, you always want the other person to feel safe and comfortable. You never want them to, you know, push themselves or be hard on themselves in any way. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like you have this genuine concern for the other to make their life easier and to help them in any way that you can. Very, very strong support and loyalty that exists here. And I think when it comes to your reunion, the same way the universe brought you together when you first met, it's the same way the universe is going to bring you together again. If the universe can do it once, it can do it again. You guys might actually have an experience where you keep running into this person, you keep seeing them out, or you know, you keep hearing their name spoken, or you keep seeing things that remind them of you. It's like you can never lose each other. That's what Spirit wants you to know. You can never lose each other. You always have each other. And once you get together in your relationship, you will never lose sight of each other again. The Four of Pentacles is a very like sturdy, solid, I don't know if tenacious is the right word, but it's that feeling of like you're holding on to something tightly and you're not letting go. So once you get into your union, once you're in your relationship, that's it. You will be together forever because you have your longevity, you have your sturdy tree. But I think, you know, the way this is all coming together, it really does teach a wonderful lesson. You know, sometimes things just take time. Sometimes there's a greater plan that we can't see. And, you know, that time is going to go by regardless. So you can spend it being carefree and enjoying your life. You can spend it worrying about what should I do and trying to control the outcome. But in the end, the outcome is going to be the same. Like, there is no use in worrying. There is no use in trying to control things, because if something's meant for you, it's going to find you anyway. And I also want to point out here that, yes, maybe you guys were in this worrying state about the connection, in a kind of negative headspace about it, but did that block your manifestation? No, it did not. So when something is meant for you, nothing can get in the way. Even if you're worrying about it, even if you're feeding negative energy or whatever it is, low vibes, it cannot get in the way because it is meant for you. So, you know, when we tell you, like in the spiritual community, or when your guides tell you not to worry and not to think negatively, it's not a warning, or it's not like a judgment to say like, oh, you better stop, because if you don't, we're gonna block your manifestation. It's not like that. The sole reason you should stop thinking negatively is so that you can relax, and so that you can just breathe out and let go. So know that whether you worry or not, whether you stress or not, whether you try to control or not, this union or this reunion is coming. So, I mean, how would you rather spend the time of waiting or the time of separation, whatever it might be? I feel like this guy looks like he's having more fun. And that might be, you know, something that your soulmate can help to teach you as you enjoy your relationship together. This can be someone who really teaches you to let go, to be more optimistic, to not worry. Because it is something, I feel like being anxious and having worrying tendencies, which I definitely have, it's something that you learn or something that you're conditioned over a long period of time. But you can unlearn it, or you can at the very least find ways to manage it and to not let it get in the way of your happiness and your enjoyment of life. And I think your soulmate is going to be a really wonderful support in that. And you are going to support your soulmate by helping them to bring practical plans to bring their ideas to light. So this is a really, really wonderful connection that is coming. Your soul family will see to it regardless. So please don't worry your beautiful head, and everything is going to be okay. So that's all the messages I have for you guys. I'm going to end the reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards that you get to choose the topic for, that will be linked down below as well. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!